Hello my dear students and welcome once again to Zenith Academy Online. Today we are on lecture 5 of the chapter Quadratic Equations, and this is the last chapter of the series for the chapter Quadratic Equations. So let's begin my dear students. So we all know that this is the standard form of a quadratic equation, ax square plus bx plus c equal to 0, where a is the coefficient of x square, b is the coefficient of x, and c is a constant, and this quadratic polynomial is equated to 0, so it becomes a quadratic equation. Here we also remember that a should not be equal to 0, right? A should not be equal to 0, right? And a, b, c, all three of them are real numbers. Okay, a should not be equal to 0. So the coefficient of x square can be positive, it can be negative, it can be in square root, right? So we know that this quadratic equation has two roots, means the x has two values, right? And now we know how to find those two roots as well. Okay, so if you see this quadratic formula, this is the quadratic formula. So these are the two roots. So x can be equal to minus b plus minus square root of b square minus 4ac by 2a. So in one of the roots we take plus, in another root we take minus. Now depending on this, how do we determine the nature of the roots? Okay, so in this class we will examine the roots of a quadratic equation. That is, we will analyze whether the roots of the quadratic equation are equal or unequal, real or imaginary. Imaginary is not real, and rational or irrational. So to examine the roots of a quadratic equation, let us consider this general form where a, b, c are real and rational numbers. And to know the nature of the roots of the quadratic equation, we will be using this discriminant. I've already told you about discriminant, because b square minus 4ac discriminates the nature of roots. That is why it is called discriminant. So if you see this b square minus 4ac, whatever is there under the square root, this is known as discriminant. This is denoted by this triangle or capital D. Okay, discriminant. Why we call it discriminant? Because this is the one which discriminates the root nature of the roots. So let's understand this little bit. So I'm trying to explain you a bit here, but when we do the questions, then you will be able to understand it properly. So see here, I have x equal to minus b plus square root of b square minus 4ac by 2a, and I have minus b minus square root of b square minus 4ac by 2a. Now if this number inside b square minus 4ac, if this discriminant is more than 0, more than 0 means it is a positive number. So it can be 2, 3, 4, anything. So suppose I take 4. Just taking an example to explain you. So this becomes 2. So minus b plus 2 upon 2a. And here it is minus b minus 2 upon 2a. Are you getting me? So these are two different numbers. So in this case, when this discriminant is more than 0, the roots are the values of both. See, here there is plus 2, here there is minus 2. Okay, so the roots are unequal. The roots are unequal when d is or discriminant is more than 0. Okay, now here if you take this discriminant exactly as 0, so square root of 0 doesn't exist, it is 0. This whole goes off, this full goes off, right? So what you get if this goes off, if there's nothing here, so minus b plus 0 by 2a is similar to minus b minus 0 by 2a. Both are same. So if this discriminant is equal to 0, then the roots are equal. These roots are equal, na? So what are the roots now? Minus b by 2a. That will be the root. Correct? Because plus 0 minus 0 doesn't make a difference. And if this discriminant, this is less than 0, okay, if this b square minus 4ac is less than 0, so means under the square root it is a negative number. So while I was teaching you for class 9, I had told you कि negative numbers, the square root of negative numbers do not exist. So they are irrational number. Okay, they are irrational, or we can say the if they are not real, we call it not irrational, but we call it they do not exist. So not irrational, we call it they are not real. Okay, so there are no real roots. If this is not real, then the roots are not real. So we say no real roots. We say no real roots when this is less than 0, because negative number का जो square root होता है, that is not real. Are you getting me? So what I can say, see, this is discriminant. Discriminant is equal to b square minus 4ac. In some of the books it is given by capital D also, but mostly we will use triangle. So if this is more than 0, we know the roots are unequal and they are real. If this is equal to 0, the roots are equal and real, right? And if this is less than 0, then no real roots. We have explained everything. Please remember, if this is more than 0, the roots are real and different, unequal. Many a times we use the word unique as well. Okay, real and unequal. Unique means both are different. Okay, and if this is equal to 0, then roots are real and equal. Same to same roots are there. And if it is less than 0, the roots are not real. No real roots. Okay, let's go ahead. So see, find the value of discriminant of this equation. We know what is discriminant. Discriminant is equal to b square minus 4ac. Okay, now on comparing this equation with the standard, that is ax square plus bx plus c is equal to 0. Okay, this is the standard. So by comparing it with the standard, what is a? A is here 1. Okay, what is b? B is here 10 and c is equal to minus 7. So we put those values here. Discriminant is equal to b square. B is 10. So 10 square minus 4 into a is 1 and c is minus 7. So you get 100. Okay, sorry, 100. Now minus 4 into 1 is minus 4. Minus 4 into minus 7 is plus 28. So the discriminant is 128. And if they tell you to find the nature of the roots, so since the discriminant is more than 0, correct, it is more than 0, it is in positive, therefore what will be the nature of roots? Roots will be real and unequal. Okay, right now this is not asked, but only value of discriminant is asked. Now see, determine the nature of roots. Here they have asked you nature of roots of the given quadratic equation. So first you compare it with the standard ax square plus bx plus c equal to 0. Okay, so a will be equal to 2, b will be equal to minus 5 and c will be equal to 7. Correct, students? Now let's find the discriminant. So discriminant is nothing but b square minus 4ac. So discriminant is equal to b square, that is minus 5 square minus 4 into a is 2 and c is 7. Correct? So this becomes 25 minus 4 2s are 8, 8 7s are 56. So it is 25 minus 56. So both are different signs. So you will have to subtract it. So you get 1 here and you get 3 here. And the bigger number is minus, right? So you get minus. So discriminant is minus 31. That means discriminant is less than 0, isn't it? Discriminant is less than 0. So whenever the discriminant is less than 0, what is the nature of roots? No real roots. No real roots. So you will write, since discriminant is less than 0, therefore no real roots. Understood? Let's go ahead. Determine the nature of roots of the given quadratic equation. Again, I will compare it with ax square plus bx plus c equal to 0. So here a is equal to 1, b is equal to 2 and c is equal to minus 9. Isn't it? So discriminant is equal to b square minus 4ac. So discriminant is equal to 2 square minus 4 into 1 into minus 9. So it is 4 plus 36. Minus 4 plus 36. So discriminant is equal to 40. Now 40 is more than 0. Therefore roots will be real, and since it is more than 0, it will be real and unequal or distinct. और distinct मतलब अलग अलग और unique मतलब different. Unique मतलब that particular number. Okay, so here also I had not given, no, this is, you make the use of the word distinct, because many a times they give you the roots are distinct. Distinct मतलब अलग अलग, right? Let's see one more example. Determine the nature of roots of the given quadratic equation. Again, compare it with the standard ax square plus bx plus c equal to 0. So from here, we can write that a is equal to root 3, b is equal to 2 root 3, and c is equal to root 3. Correct? So now let's write discriminant. So discriminant is equal to b square minus 4ac. So b is 2 root 3. So 2 root 3 square minus 4 into a into c. Right? So 2 square is 4. Root 3 square is 3. So this becomes 4 into 3. Right? 2 into 2 is 4. Root 3 into root 3 is 3. Minus 4. Now root 3 into root 3 is 3. So this is 12 minus 12, which is equal to 0. So here you have got discriminant is equal to 0. So whenever the discriminant is equal to 0, so the roots are real and equal, because discriminant is equal to 0. So roots are real and equal. I hope you have got it very well now. The nature of roots, how to find out. Now you see here, we will be talking about graphical expression of quadratic equation. Okay, so graphically how you can express the quadratic equation. So don't worry, you will not be asked to make the graph. You remember when we made the graph of linear equations in two variables, it was a straight line graph, either like this or straight like this, straight graphs. Do you remember? So for quadratic equations, it is always something like this or something like this. Correct? Please remember this. Now, if you see this first one, okay, this is touching the x-axis at two distinct points. So the roots of the quadratic equation are the points where the graph of the quadratic polynomial or quadratic equation touches the x-axis. You have to see x-axis. So here it is touching at two different points on the x-axis. So there will be two roots. Okay, two unequal roots. Okay, unequal. Now here you are seeing that it is touching the x-axis at one point. So both the roots will be same. So equal roots. Now here it is touching the y-axis, but it is not touching the x-axis. देखो इतना दूर है इससे. The graph is not touching the x-axis. So here there will be no real roots. Okay, I will explain this to you again. See here, if the graph of the quadratic equation or polynomial touches the x-axis at two different points, then it implies the equations have रियल एंड डिस्टिंक्ट रूट्स. डिस्टिंक्ट अभी अभी मैंने आपको बताया अनइक्वल रूट्स, right? So here you see it is touching at -5 and it is touching at 1. So the roots of this quadratic equation will be -5, 1. So the roots are real. These both numbers are real and unequal. Correct? Now see here. Here it is touching at 0. So x equal to 0. So both the x will be equal to 0. Now suppose the graph was something like this. ऐसा था graph. So here both the x will be -5. X will be -5, -5. So the roots will be real and also it will be equal if it is touching only at one point. Suppose it is touching here. Can you see here? Suppose it is like this. So both the x will be 4. X equal to 4, x equal to 4. I hope you have understood this very well. Okay. Great. Now let's go ahead. If this is not touching the x-axis at all, always remember you have to see only x-axis. Now here it is touching on y-axis at 4. So do not say that y equal to 4. No. We have to see where it is touching the x-axis. Okay. So it is not touching the x-axis at all. So we will say it does not retain any real roots. So we will say no real roots. The roots are not real. Okay. Now we'll talk about a very important concept here, relation between the roots of the quadratic equation and the coefficients. Okay. Now you know what are coefficients. Let me explain you this once again. 2x square plus 5x plus 7 is equal to 0. So coefficient of x square is 2. Coefficient of x is 5. And this is C. Coefficient of x0 is equal to C, right? So this 2 is nothing but A if we compare it with the standard ax square plus bx plus c equal to 0, right? So coefficient of x square is A, coefficient of x is B, and this is C. We all know, correct? So these are the coefficients, sorry. And if we say there are two roots of a quadratic equation, every time we find two roots, na, suppose x equal to 7 and x equal to 2. So if we name them differently, one of the roots we name this as alpha, one of the roots we name this as beta. So alpha is 7, beta is 2, if we can say it like that also. So what are alpha and beta? Alpha and beta are the roots. So I can say alpha plus beta, that is, we can say sum of roots. Okay, sum of roots will always be equal to minus b by a. That is minus the coefficient of x by coefficient of x square. Correct? Now alpha into beta, that is the product of roots. Product of roots is always equal to c by a. C is the constant term and a is the coefficient of x square. Correct? So I will repeat this again here. See, alpha plus beta will be equal to minus b by a, and alpha into beta will be equal to c by a. So alpha plus beta, we can say x plus x, and this is x into x, both the different axes. I hope this is clear to you. Now let's read this question. Read this question. If alpha and beta are the roots of this particular equation, then find alpha plus beta and alpha into beta. So we don't have to find out the roots. Okay, if we know this relation and it is asked what is the sum of the roots and what is the product of roots, just compare this 2x square plus 6x minus 5 equal to 0 with your standard equation. Okay, our standard equation is ax square plus bx plus c equal to 0. From this we can find out a is equal to 2, b is equal to 6 and c is equal to minus 5. Now we know these relationships. We know that alpha plus beta is equal to minus b by a. So it is equal to minus, what is b? 6. So minus 6 by 2, which is equal to minus 3. So alpha plus beta is minus 3. Now, what is alpha into beta? Alpha into beta is C by A, right? C is minus 5 and A is 2. So, alpha beta is minus 5 by 2. तो आपको रूट्स निकालने नहीं पड़े, राइट? आपने सिर्फ इक्वेशन में से ए बी सी निकाला एंड यू यूज द रिलेशन. Alpha plus beta is minus b by a and alpha into beta is c by a. Okay, let's take some more example. Now, the difference between the roots of this equation is 7. Then you have to find k. Very easy question. See, it looks a little twisted. Okay, so first you compare it with ax square plus bx plus c equal to 0. Then you can write a is equal to 1, b is equal to minus 13 and c is equal to k. Can you write like that? Isn't it? So what will be alpha plus beta? Alpha plus beta is minus b by a. Correct? So it is minus of minus 13 by 1. So it is equal to positive 13. So we can say that alpha plus beta is equal to positive 13. This is equation number 1. And it is given that alpha minus beta, see, it is given the difference between the roots of this equation is 7. So alpha minus beta is 7. This is given equation 2. So what if you add equation 1 and 2, right? You will be getting the values of alpha and beta. Okay, then what you can do, you have to find the value of k. So alpha into beta is c by a, right? So alpha into beta will, so if you know, so c is k. Okay, k by a will be equal to alpha beta. Later on we will make use of this. First let us find out what is the value of alpha and beta. If we know the value of alpha and beta, we will put the values of alpha and beta here. Okay, we know the value of a is equal to 1, then we will be able to find the value of k, isn't it? So let's add these two equations. So by adding this, plus beta and minus beta gets cancelled. You get twice alpha is equal to 20, right? Twice alpha is 20. Therefore, alpha is equal to 20 by 2, which is equal to 10. Now substitute this alpha equal to 10 in equation 1. So 10 plus beta is equal to 13. Therefore, beta will be equal to, take this plus 10 on the other side, 13 minus 10. So beta will be 3. Beta will be 3. So you have got beta as 3 and you have got alpha as 10. Right? So you can use this now. I will just delete this part because there is no space. I'll just delete a small part. Okay. Now we know this, that alpha into beta is equal to k by a. So a is nothing but 1. See, a is 1. Now alpha is 10, beta is 3 and this is k. So now if you cross multiply, okay, k is equal to 30. 10 into 3. Have you all understood? This is how we find out. So if you have any doubt, please pause it, go back to the video and understand this very, very properly. Okay. Now, this is a very important topic, very, very important topic. See here. Now what we are doing, how to obtain a quadratic equation having given roots, if the roots are given to us. Now see, this is the formula, very important, please learn it right now. We have to use x square or whatever the variable is given, x square minus, this is the sum of roots into x plus product of roots is equal to 0, right? So if we are given the roots, okay, or if we are simply given the equation, तो इक्वेशन दे रखा है तो अल्फा प्लस बीटा हम माइनस बी बाई ए निकाल देते हैं और अल्फा बीटा सी बाई ए निकाल देते हैं, राइट. बट अगर हमें इक्वेशन ही बनानी है, वी आर गिवन द रूट्स, देन हाउ डू वी डू इट? सी, obtain the quadratic equation if roots are -3 and -7. Okay, so alpha is -3 and beta is -7, correct? So what will be alpha plus beta? It will be -3 plus -7, so it will be -10, right? What will be alpha into beta? It will be -3 into -7, so 7 3s are 21, minus into minus is plus. So alpha plus beta is -10, alpha into beta is 21, and we know this, that it will be x square, the equation. What will be the quadratic equation? It will be x square plus, sorry, x square minus, this is very very important, this is x square minus, see here, see the formula, x square minus alpha plus beta x plus alpha beta equal to 0. So x square minus alpha plus beta x plus alpha beta is equal to 0. So we will write the equation as x square minus, देखो alpha plus beta is -10, so x square minus -10x plus alpha beta is 21, this is equal to 0. So x square plus 10x plus 21 is equal to 0. So if we know the roots, we can directly form the quadratic equation by using this formula. Okay, students? So by using x square minus alpha plus beta x plus alpha beta equal to 0, we can form the quadratic equation. Let's solve some more questions. So in the same question, if I change the roots, wait, I will change the roots and give you. So if the roots are 2 and 3, okay, so alpha is equal to 2 and beta is equal to 3. How do we do it? Check here. Alpha plus beta will be 2 plus 3 will be equal to 5, right? And alpha into beta will be, alpha plus beta will be 2 into 3, which is equal to 6, correct? Now what is our equation? How do we write the equation? X square minus alpha plus beta x, okay, plus alpha beta is equal to 0. So we will write x square minus alpha plus beta is 5. So 5x plus 6 is equal to 0. So we have formed the quadratic equation x square minus 5x plus 6 is equal to 0. And we solve this, when we solve this quadratic equation, we will get x is equal to 2 and x is equal to 3. Okay. I hope this is very very clear to you. So in this video module, I have explained you how to find out the nature of the roots using discriminant, what is the discriminant, how to find the quadratic equation if the two roots are given, what is the relationship between the roots and between the coefficients. I also told you some important things about the quadratic equations graph. So with this, we wrap up the whole chapter of quadratic equations. If you want to understand how to solve the quadratic equations, I have all the videos already made. So you can either go in the description box where I have given you all the links of the topics of quadratic equation. And if you have liked the video, do give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends. Do not forget to subscribe to us and tap on the bell icon so that you receive all the notifications of our future videos. So keep the learning always on, my dear students. Bye-bye and take care.